While he talked, I could see Papa's face getting darker and darker. Papa took him by the ear. Ow! See, you might wonder why Fletcher's in trouble. This is why. I'll bet your cow never sneezed a hole in the schoolhouse wall. Our cow did. Our old cow Floss sneezed so hard she tore down the city hall, opened up the zoo, and scared the whole city of Sassafras Springs, all with one sneeze. Of course, it wasn't really old Floss's fault that she sneezed so hard. My brother Fletcher is the one to blame. Every morning before he goes to school, Fletcher takes our cow Floss down to the creek for a drink of water. One morning, while old Floss was drinking, my brother Fletcher spied a little rabbit hopping across the pasture. He always wanted a pet rabbit, so he lit out after him. He chased it at least a mile, but he couldn't catch it, because even a baby rabbit can run faster than a boy. While he was gone, Floss drank too much water, and she got chilled standing in the cold creek. When Fletcher put her back in the barn, she was shaking and shivering. He left her in the creek too long. She was shaking so much she could barely eat her morning hay. Her nose got redder and began to itch. Her eyes watered. Her throat tickled. Ka-chow! She sneezed. A mouse was sleeping in Floss's hay. That powerful sneeze blew him right out of the bed. The cat saw the mouse, leaped at it, missed, and landed on the billy goat. Meh. When the billy goat felt the cat clawing at his back, he raced out of the barn and down the road in a fearful fright. Meh. Bam! He bowled over the pig. Pow! He knocked down the mailman and the mailbox too. Crash! He bashed into a motorcycle policeman. The policeman fell off and the billy goat landed on the motorcycle. Meh. Down the road they flew, over the bridge, up the hill, through the woods, and over the cliff by Jack Makemson's barn. They fell with a flip-flop and a loop-the-loop and landed on a steamroller. Now everybody knows that a billy goat doesn't know how to drive a steamroller. Neither does a cat, nor a mouse for that matter. So the steamroller was able to go wherever it wanted, and away it went at full speed. Oh, if only Fletcher had watched out for the cow spending too much time in the creek. First it flattened a few trees, then it mashed a street lamp, a fire plug, and a laundry truck. A fire plug is another name, maybe in other parts of the country. Around here we call them fire hydrants. It's the place where they get the water out of the ground to put out fires on a house. I don't see the fire plug anywhere in these pictures. Do you see it? Am I missing something? He didn't draw the fire plug. It's not here. Well, that's disappointing. We'll skip it. First, it flattened a few trees. This one. Tweet, tweet, tweet. They've got no tree to live in. Then it mashed a street lamp. And a fire plug. Not pictured. And a laundry truck. The mayor and the policeman tried to stop it, but they couldn't catch it. The steamroller charged right on through the park and picked up a statue and a cannon. It knocked over City Hall and 2 stores. Then it tore right through the schoolhouse wall. Oh, they ran over somebody's wagon, and they scared somebody's horse, and he fell right off, and they knocked the steeple off the church. How'd they do that? It's way up high. I can see how they drive through the corners of these buildings and ruin them. This little town is getting trashed. Fletcher was reciting in social studies, and when he saw our cat and our billy goat on the steamroller, he jumped on too and tried to stop it, but he couldn't find the right lever. Crash! They went through the other wall of the school and ripped down the street. Oh no! The kids are happy school got busted up. They're running around. Oh, it flattened the hose. Their hose is broken. It went over that policeman. There's the fire plug, or fire hydrant. The cannon is on top of the steamroller, and there's the statue. Bang, bang, smash, tinkle! Iron deer, picket fences, trains, gas stations, ice cream trucks, everything was scrunched as flat as cornflakes. They tipped over a whole train. That's pretty heavy. Oh, the airplane! They ran over a whole airplane! I wonder if it was flying. How do you do that? Oh, that's the iron deer. That's not a live deer. They ran over an iron deer in somebody's yard and bent it all up, and that dog is barking at them. They are ruining everything. Kablooey! Blam! They ripped through the fence around the zoo. My, what a mess. They broke the cages right and left, freeing all the animals. The elephant tried to stop the roller, but the roller was too strong, and it really changed the look of that elephant. In fact, the roller changed the looks of just about every animal in the zoo. Oh! The hippopotamus is all shaky. The zebra doesn't know what to do. The kangaroo can't even hop. There's a lion tamarin and a lion, and a tamarin is a kind of monkey, if you can't tell. And that's a fox, and that's a tiger. Oh, and a grizzly bear, and an elephant. There's the elephant, and there goes Fletcher and the goat and the cat and the mouse on the steamroller with the cannon and the statue right up front. Oh, man, they broke everything in the zoo. The owl is waving goodbye. Hoo, hoo. It put a zigzag in the giraffe's neck. Flattened the moose's horns. Oh, no. Pressed a large alligator. He's got long legs now. Bent the rhino's snout. Oh, he's poking himself in the bottom with his horn. That's gotta hurt. Oh, no. Curlicued the octopus. Made a crinkly lion and flattened a fat elephant. He's like a table now. That crinkly lion is going to have trouble slinking through the forest now. All the other animals jumped on top of the steamroller as fast as they could. It was the only safe place to be. Stop! Everyone was shouting, but the steamroller kept right on at full speed. Fletcher can't make it stop. The raccoon can't make it stop. The goat, the cat, and the mouse can't make it stop. The bear, the alligator that didn't get his legs crunched, the kookaburra, and the palangi bird, and the tweety bird, and the sea lion with his ball, and the monkey, and the toucan, and 3 other small sparrows, and the statue from town sitting atop the steamroller with the cannon, zooming down the street over everything. No one can make it stop. It ran through the pond in the park and changed all of the fish. It mashed a tree and changed a few birds. Then it started for the merry-go-round. Oh no! There's flat fish and flat... Have you ever heard of a halibut? A halibut is a flat fish, kind of like these, but a halibut has 2 eyes on one side of his head, just like all of these. Well, that one has his other eyes. Whambo! It missed the merry-go-round, but crashed into the big Ferris wheel. All the animals and my brother, Fletcher, jumped and clutched at the seats of the big wheel. They were happy to leave that crazy steamroller. They thought they were safe and sound, but the steamroller had knocked the big Ferris wheel off its base, and it started to roll away. Oh no! Whoa! Shouted Fletcher. But the wheel was rolling so fast nobody could hold it. It ran over the popcorn, peanut, cotton candy, and lemonade stands, and food flew everywhere. At least they wouldn't be hungry. There's the ice cream stand. There's the popcorn stand, and all the popcorn's on the floor. Oh, says that man. Hee hee, says that little kid. He got a free balloon. Oh no, the balloons are getting away. Do you ever lose a balloon? They float and float and float away. I really don't like that about floaty balloons, but floaty balloons are the funnest if you can keep them tied to your wrist. Made in the shade, lemonade. Oh, the lemonade is dumping in that guy's face. Well, at least he won't be too hot. He might be too sticky, though. Out of town they rolled and down a big hill, picking up speed. People ran out of their houses. They thought a tornado was coming or that the moon had fallen. Nope, the moon's still up there. Cars and trucks stopped on the road, and the drivers dived into the ditches. Cows fainted. Horses ran away. It was a sight to see. A big truck got tangled in the Ferris wheel and was carried along too. Where's the big truck? Oh no, it's a really big truck full of fireworks. Ah! Fletcher didn't know what was in the truck until a little later when they scattered some Boy Scouts and rolled over their campfire. Oh no! And the hippo can't believe his eyes. This is a terrible sight. And the tiger is covering his eyes so he doesn't have to see. And the alligator, she doesn't know what to do. She would much rather be in a pond. And there's all the people in the town chasing along. And look, Floss fainted. The cow is on her back, flat. She can't believe what's going on. Zip, blam, zowie! Then he knew what was in the truck. Fireworks for the 4th of July. Great gobs of fireworks began to blow off. The noise was frightful. Fletcher had to stuff his fingers into his ears. It was so loud you couldn't have heard a lion roar if he had been sitting next to you. Who's sitting next to the lion? Oh, the poor giraffe. He can't hear the lion because all he's got is these big baboons and zowies and whoosh next to his head. Oh, that's scary. The wheel raced through a farmyard, zipping rockets through the barn. And the monkey, the monkey isn't falling off. He's holding on with his tail. And these guys are running to get out of the way. Down the side of a mountain they rolled, faster and faster. At the bottom lay the Atlantic Ocean. Fletcher hugged a hippopotamus sitting next to him because hippos are very good swimmers. Crunch, zip, swish! The wheel rolled off the mountain onto a long dock. At the end of the dock was a fishing boat. The wheel rolled onto the boat and out to sea. They went scattering rockets right and left. Fish popped their heads out of the water to see what was happening. The fisherman who owned the boat telephoned for the fireboat to come to the rescue. "Hello? Help!" he shouted into the phone. "A mountain full of monsters with fur hides and long snouts just stole my boat. They're shooting cannon and squirting fire all over the ocean." Oh, what a mess. That kid's trying to ride that horse, but the horse is too scared. The horse wants to stand up and run away on its hind legs. It's hard to sit on a horse's back on its hind legs, and all these fish can't believe what's going on. And there's all the monsters inside the Ferris wheel. They're not monsters. There's a tiger, an alligator, a rhinoceros. Was there a rhinoceros before? There is now. There's the hippo, and Fletcher is right there. You can see his hat. And there's the iron deer. I don't know what that animal is, but that's the elephant for sure, and the giraffe. And that's another giraffe. There's 2 giraffes. And maybe a squirrel or something in there. Gee whiz, that's a lot of mayhem. And the moon is not smiling. Would it be worse if the moon fell out of the sky? Probably. Here comes the fireboat. Fletcher's floating wheel was shooting so many rockets and fireworks that the fireboat couldn't get near them at first. Finally, it dashed in with all the nozzles squirting and splashed water all over Fletcher and his passengers and put out the fireworks. The elephant is so happy. Elephants don't mind getting squirted in the face, and I guess the hippo doesn't mind, but Fletcher's covering his eyes so the water doesn't get in his eyes. The lion is going, achoo, achoo, because the water went up his nose. The goat is happy as a clam because he's behind the lion, so he's not getting wet, and the grizzly bear is covering his eyes. And the alligator is wishing he was closer to the water so he could just swim away, and the tiger is still covering his eyes. They're all, I say he, that's a she. See, that's a she hippo. She is very happy to get sprayed in the face, but she still closes her eyes. When the fireboat came closer, the crew saw Fletcher all wet and cold sitting there in that big wheel hugging a hippopotamus. They had to laugh. They roared and howled. Douse. Douser. That's a good name. They doused the fire. Wild beast. Pip Jones delivery. I guess that's Pip. Then they took Fletcher and all the animals to shore and sent them home in trucks. When the truck came home to our house, the driver climbed out and talked to Papa. While he talked, I could see Papa's face getting darker and darker, and I sure began to feel sorry for old Fletcher. When he finally climbed out of the truck, Papa took him by the ear. Ow! They marched into the barn and closed the door. I guess you know what happened to Fletcher in there. He got a spanking. I'll bet you my best jackknife that Fletcher won't be neglecting his duties and chasing rabbits again. He learned a lesson that day. He found out that a little teeny-weeny error can grow into a whopping big mistake, almost before you can say, ka-chow.
We do hope you've enjoyed this great, amazing book show, and if you'd like to listen to further titles, please check out our other videos.
Or subscribe and continue to enjoy more of these fascinating stories.